everybody, and welcome to the Wealthy LaLa show with myself, Laurie Laursen. Today is episode 229, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. We got quite a bit of rain here. That's kind of nice. The crops needed it and stuff. Some areas may have gotten more than they wanted, but well, not much we can do about that, hey? Life is an adventure. So you know what I wanted to talk about today? So this has just been a subject that's been something I wanted to talk about, but yet it's been so difficult. But when I read to you guys on episode 226, about the pain, that led me to, I'm pretty sure it was the same author for that blog that was about the mother wound. So she has a little book that you can actually find on BrittanyWatson.com. You can actually sign up and get her free. It's just like a little 20-page book called Healing the Mother Wound. And, gosh, this whole subject, at least in my world and maybe in other people's worlds too, like this whole mother thing has been such a so heavily judged topic. And, it wasn't easy. I didn't have an easy time with my mom. I'm sure I was a tough, different kind of person for her to have as a kid. What I love about having read a little bit more from this Brittany Watson about the mother wound is that I'm beginning to see and really, really get that it's so not personal. And that when we stand back from this huge sort of vantage point, it becomes even less personal and it's seen as something greater. Now, I have to admit, I know I'm a likable person. Some people might be surprised when I say this, but I have had a hard time with women relationships. Like really, how many of you even can look around at your life and say that you have a woman relationship with another female where you can be all of you with them and they can be all of them with you? Okay? Like really look around. And I really get that it has so much to do with this mother wound thing. So I'm going to read you guys a little bit of one of the other articles that she has on her page. I just want to see what the title of the article is here. Why is it crucial for women to heal the mother wound? Okay, now, let's see here. Oh, see, this is it. Like what many people, so this is in her article, what many people do not realize is that at the core issue, at the center of women's empowerment is the mother wound. Difficulty and challenges between mothers and daughters are rampant and widespread, but not openly spoken about. The taboo about speaking about the pain of the mother wound is what keeps in place and keeps hidden, the shadow festering and out of view. What exactly is the mother wound? The mother wound, now she's actually trademarked this, okay? So when she says mother wound, she's actually got a trademark behind it. The mother wound is the pain of being a woman passed down through generations of women in patriarchal cultures and includes dysfunctional coping mechanisms that are used to process that pain. So the mother wound includes the pain of comparison, of not feeling good enough, shame, consistent background sense that there's something wrong with you, attenuation, feeling you must remain small in order to be loved, persistent sense of guilt for wanting more than you currently have. So then she has the mother wound can manifest as not being your full self because you don't want to threaten others, having a high tolerance for poor treatment from others, emotional caretaking, feeling competitive with other women, self-sabotage, being overly rigid and dominating, conditions such as eating disorders, depression, and addictions. So in our patriarchal, male-dominated culture, women are conditioned to think of themselves as less than and not deserving or worthy. This feeling of less than has been internalized and passed down through countless generations of women. The cultural atmosphere of female oppression puts daughters in a double bind. Simply put, if a daughter internalizes her mother's unconscious beliefs, and then in brackets, which is some subtle form of I'm not good enough, then she has her mother's approval, but in some way has betrayed herself and her potential. However, if she doesn't internalize her mother's unconscious beliefs in her own limitations, but rather affirms her own power and potential, she's aware that her mother may unconsciously see this as a personal rejection. The daughter doesn't want to risk losing her mother's love and approval, so internalizing these limiting unconscious beliefs is a form of loyalty and emotional survival for the daughter. Like, you guys, like, isn't this crazy? This makes so much sense for me. So I'm going to keep reading because it's just reading to keep reading. So it may feel dangerous for a woman to actualize her full potential because it may mean risking some form of rejection by her mother. This is because the daughter may unconsciously sense that her full empowerment may trigger the mother's sadness or rage at having had to give up parts of herself in her own life. Her compassion for her mother, a desire to please her, and a fear of conflict may cause her to convince herself that it's actually safer to shrink and remain small. A common objection to facing the mother wound is to let the past be in the past. Okay? However, we never truly escape or bury the past. It lives in the present as the obstacles and challenges that we face every day. If we avoid dealing with the pain associated with one of the most primary and foundational relationships in our lives, we are missing a pivotal opportunity to discover the truth of who we are and to authentically and joyfully live that truth. Now, this is really interesting, okay? Because I know that I've even thought of this myself. So stereotypes that perpetuate or continue the mother wound. Look at everything your mother did for you. So that's in brackets, like from other people. My mother sacrificed so much for me. I would be so selfish to do what she could not do. I do not want to make her feel bad. Yeah, let that sink in. The third one, I owe loyalty to my mother no matter what. If I upset her, she will think I don't value her. Like, wow. You know, like you get when looking at this, it doesn't allow someone to actually be real. You know, we put this role or this label on a mom, and it doesn't allow us to see everything for then what it is. It's like, if she's my mother, you know, whether she treated you poorly, say from 1% to 99 or 100%, you're using the same standard of loyalty to that. Whereas, you know, when I've been looking at that one book that I've been reading called The Emotionally Absent Mother, you know, if you actually had a mother that was caring, it's incredible with what us as kids will be forgiving for with regards to our parents. Like, if we felt like our mothers especially cared for us, even if they had their moments, you know, they got upset, maybe they were depressed at times, maybe they, you know, forgot to pick us up one day, maybe they weren't present with us, we're way more forgiving and willing to overlook what our mothers, like the humanity of our mothers, okay? So this is so cool. So anyways, I'm going to keep reading. We all have sensed the pain that our mothers carry, and all of us are suspicious to some degree that we are partly to blame for her pain. Therein lies the guilt. This makes sense when considering the limited cognitive development of a child, which sees itself as the cause of all things. If we don't address this unconscious belief as an adult, we still may be walking around with it and greatly limiting ourselves as a result. The truth is that no child can save her mother. No sacrifice a daughter will ever make will be enough to compensate for the high price her mother may have had to pay or for the losses she has accrued over the years. Simply by being a woman and a mother in this culture, and yet This is what many women do for their mothers very early on in childhood. This decision is made out of love, loyalty, and a true need for approval and emotional support from the mother. Many of us confuse being loyal to our mothers with being loyal to their wounds and thus complicit in our own oppression. Excuse me. These dynamics are very unconscious and they operate on a continuum. Even the most healthy, supportive mother-daughter relationship may have this dynamic to some degree of virtue by simply being a woman in this society. And for daughters who have mothers with serious issues like addictions, mental illness, etc., the impact can be very damaging and insidious. Oh, wow. I think this article is probably too big for me to read to finish all today. So I might actually finish it tomorrow. Instead, yeah, that's actually what I might do is I might finish it on tomorrow's show. But I'm still going to read a little bit more. Okay, so mothers must take responsibility and grieve their losses. Being a mother in our society is unspeakably difficult. I've heard many women say, no one ever tells you how hard it is, and nothing prepares you for when you get home with a baby and realize what's being asked of you. Our culture, especially in the US, is very hard on mothers, offering little support, and many are raising children alone. Our society's unspoken messages to mothers: if motherhood is difficult, then it's your own fault. Shame on you if you're not superhuman. There are quote unquote natural mothers for whom motherhood is easy. If you are not one of these, then there is something deeply wrong with you. You are supposed to be capable of handling it all with ease, having well-behaved children, being sexually attractive, having a successful career, and a solid marriage. Isn't that something? Like, really, do you guys see where this is in? Holy mackerel. For mothers who have indeed sacrificed so much to have children in our culture, it can truly feel like a rejection when your child surpasses or exceeds the dreams you thought possible for yourself. There may be a sense of feeling owed, entitled to, or needing to be validated by your own children, which can be very subtle but a powerful manipulation. This dynamic can cause the next generation of daughters to keep themselves small so that their mothers can continue to feel validated and affirmed in their identity as a mother, an identity that may have sacrificed so much for, but received so little support and recognition for in return. Mothers may unconsciously project deep rage towards their children in subtle ways. However, the rage isn't really towards the children. The rage is towards the patriarchal society that requires women to sacrifice and utterly deplete themselves in order to mother a child. And for any child who needs her mother, sacrificing herself in effort to somehow ease her mother's pain is often a subconscious decision made very early in life and not discovered as the cause of underlying issues until much later when she is an adult. I could totally see where I did this for my mom. So the mother wound exists because there's not a safe place for mothers to process their rage about the sacrifices that society has demanded of them, and because daughters still unconsciously fear rejection for choosing not to make those same sacrifices as previous generations. Wow. Okay, I just want to see how much is left of this article because yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do is instead of doing week 5 in the It's Not Your Money book tomorrow, I'm actually going to finish this article and then I'll continue with the book next week, next Friday. But yeah, like what I love is like what's further on and even in more of the article is I'm so aware. Like, do you get the energies in this that creates such competition within women? Like, we don't even know how we're being so brutal with high expectations of ourselves, of our mothers, of other women. And if we were to able go in and heal the mother wound within ourselves, Oh my gosh. You know what, you guys? I am going to stop this today and I'm going to start tomorrow's show because I want to continue on with this and then get to the point of having a good chat about it. So please tune in and listen to tomorrow's show, which will be episode 230. And I'm going to talk about this some more. All right. You guys, big hugs. Chew on this stuff, man. And you know what? Like with anything, if this doesn't read for you, that's okay too. You know, every one of us is different. This is speaking like amazingly, like times the godzillion percent in my world right now. And yeah, I can. So if it doesn't read for you, hey, wait till show episode 231 next week, and I'll be chatting about something else. And if this is interesting at all to you, tune in again tomorrow. I'm going to finish the article and chat a bit more about it.